Prince Harry's former flying instructor accused a British newspaper of deliberate deception over a story about the royal's memoir, Spare. The Duke of Sussex learned to fly with Michael Booley and described in his memoir how the sergeant major would deliberately stall the engine in order to train Harry on how to recover. Following the book's release, Booley spoke to a journalist from the Sunday Mirror and suggested there may have been some inaccuracies in the book's version of events. After the story came out, however, he said he felt let down and betrayed by the way the newspaper handled the story. The saga opens a new chapter in Harry's fraught relationship with the media, which he has frequently accused of twisting his words or taking them out of context. What Prince Harry wrote in Spare about flying lessons. Harry's flight training came in 2009 at RAF Barkston Heath shortly after he had been caught up in a racism scandal, having filmed himself using the word P** to describe an officer cadet from Pakistan, which he says he wrongly believed was harmless. He described having entered our sessions wildly distracted but said Booley was a calming influence. The passage from Spare reads, "On one of our first flights together, with no warning, Booley threw the aircraft into a stall. I felt the left wing dip, a sickening feeling of disorder, of entropy, and then, after several seconds that felt like decades, he recovered the aircraft and leveled the wings. I stared at him. What in the absolute? Was this an aborted suicide attempt? No," he said gently. This was the next stage in my training. Harry was at the time flying a fixed-wing Firefly aircraft but went on to co-pilot an Apache helicopter on the front line in Afghanistan. The Sunday Mirror's report on Prince Harry flying the newspaper initially ran the headline, "Exclusive, Prince Harry Army Instructor Says Story in Spare Book is Complete Fantasy." While the words "complete fantasy" appeared as a quote in the headline, there was no quote to the effect in the article itself. The Mirror's website has since changed the headline to replace the reference with "dramatized for effect." The newspaper quotes Booley as saying, "Whilst the book compliments me, the recollection of the sorties and lessons is inaccurate, I am afraid. It's important to highlight that nothing in the cockpit comes as a surprise. Every sortie is thoroughly briefed beforehand, every single aspect. The sortie is flown exactly as per that brief. The only time there are surprises is later in the syllabus, not as stated in the book, when emergencies are introduced." What Michael Booley said about the British press. Booley rebutted the Mirror story in a lengthy post on Facebook in which he stood by his account of some inaccuracies in the book but stressed, "I made it absolutely clear that Harry was an exceptional student and I had nothing but the utmost respect for him." He wrote, "I highlighted some inaccuracies in the book, in particular reference to the flying sorties, but felt that they were probably not Harry's words and highly likely to be dramatized due to the fact that the book was ghost-written. I did not know who the ghost writer was and certainly did not blame him. Not once did I say anything derogatory about Prince Harry and I certainly never said it was complete fantasy as the article headlines would have you believe. I made it clear to the reporters that I would not approve of anything derogatory and yet here we are." Michael J. Booley's full Facebook statement. "I want the truth to be known. This post is public. Please share my comments far and wide to the below article in order to expose the deliberate deception by the press. I am Michael Booley, Harry's former SGT Major Flying Instructor, quoted in this article. Out of the blue, I was contacted by the press to be made aware they were writing articles and as I was named in Harry's book Spare I was offered an opportunity to comment on it. I was completely unaware of this. As I had not seen it, I was then provided with an inaccurate version of the book translated, and in response I expressed my concerns about any possible detrimental narratives from the outset. I later saw the English version and highlighted the differences to the press. I was then assured that if I offered any comments, they would be reported on accurately. stupidly and against my better judgment, I proceeded on trust. I made it absolutely clear that Harry was an exceptional student and I had nothing but the utmost respect for him. I highlighted some inaccuracies in the book, in particular reference to the flying sorties, but felt that they were probably not Harry's words and highly likely to be dramatized due to the fact that the book was ghost-written. I did not know who the ghost writer was and certainly did not blame him. Not once did I say anything derogatory about Prince Harry, and I certainly never said it was complete fantasy as the article headlines would have you believe. I made it clear to the reporters that I would not approve of anything derogatory, and yet here we are. I also made it clear that I myself am suffering with complex PTSD and am under treatment for it, and any misquotes or twists could potentially impact my health and well-being. I feel let down and betrayed by them. I also feel foolish for having listened to their assurances of trust and honesty. I should have known better. I certainly did not ask for or receive any payment, as some above comments suggest, and am very despondent about how this article has been portrayed. Jack Royston is Newsweek's chief royal correspondent based in London. You can find him on Twitter at @Jack_Royston and read his stories on Newsweek's The Royals Facebook page. Do you have a question about King Charles III, William and Kate, Meghan and Harry, or their family that you would like our experienced royal correspondents to answer? Email royals@newsweek.com. We'd love to hear from you.